The name of my essay is entitled The 45th Anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King in Grosse Pointe, which is published on the following websites: elliswashingtonreport.com, worldnetdaily.com, and globalpolitician.com. King spoke, "Every city in our country has this kind of dualism, this schizophrenia, split at so many parts. And so every city ends up being two cities rather than one. There are two Americas." 3 years ago, I was first told by my 7th grade English teacher, Mrs. Tamara Duffield, at Brownell Middle School, that the famous Dr. Martin Luther King gave a speech at Grosse Pointe South High School back in the 1960s. On a somber and stark winter's day 45 years ago, on March 14, 1968, when 2,700 people gathered in the gymnasium to hear Dr. Martin Luther King speak at my high school, Grosse Pointe South High School, in Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, his speech was entitled The Other America, in which Dr. King contrasted the lofty language of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence, which proclaimed that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. In contrast, King asserted that truly there are two Americas, one black and the other white. In the Other America speech, King spoke about the America for the black community, where multitudes of black people in America were unjustly shackled down and held back from enjoying the American dream promised to them through past battles and wars. Dr. King revealed to the audience the good America, an America that is prosperous, plentiful, and where people in this good America have the freedom to pursue whatever dream they have in this country. But he reminds everyone of the bad America, the other America, America void of freedom, justice, and equal rights under the Constitution. For too long, King intones, America has closed its eyes to its black brothers and sisters. America has failed to realize the deep hatred toward the black community, a hatred that clouds the freedom and rights promised to them through past battles and wars. Dr. King states, and what is it America has failed to hear? It has failed to hear 3 of the 8 that the plight of the Negro poor has worsened over the last 12 to 15 years. It has failed to hear the promise of freedom and justice have not been met. It has failed to hear that the large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice and humanity. Dr. King warns, onto the oppressed lives of black people, these problems of racial injustice will lead to societal destruction. He states, our destinies are tied together, whether we like it or not. Culturally, otherwise, every white person is a little bit Negro, and every Negro is a little bit white. We must come to see, yes, we do need each other. The black man needs the white man to save him from his fear, and the white man needs the black man to free him from his guilt. According to Dr. King's speech, black and whites are bound together by destiny. All races will rise or fall unless the race question is finally dealt with. Every white person has something in common with a black person. We are all similar in biology, culture, ethnicity, and language. Dr. King explains that there can be no fulfillment in the paths of both races if they do not first recognize their relations with each other and their intertwined fate as children of God. The black man needs the white man, and the white man needs the black man. Together they shall prosper, apart they shall fall. King spoke, before the Pilgrims' fathers landed at Plymouth, we were here. Before Jefferson etched across the pages of history the majestic words of the Declaration of Independence, we were here. Before the beautiful words of the Star-Spangled Banner were written, we were here. And for more than 2 centuries, our forebears labored here without wages. I can still sing, we shall overcome. We shall overcome, because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. In conclusion, 45 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King delivered his profound words to the astonished audience at Grosse South High School with a collection of civil rights hymns, Bible quotations, and poetic rhetorical flourish. King spoke, "We shall overcome, because the Bible is right. You shall reap what you sow. With this faith, we'll be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we'll be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. Indeed, we shall all reap what we sow." Dr. King ended his lengthy yet profound speech with a victorious crescendo, a declaration that truth, justice, peace, and love will one day triumph over lies, injustice, racism, and hate. Dr. King's concluding words to his famous The Other America speech was spoken for the ages. With this faith, we will be able to speed up the day when all of God's children, all over this nation, black men, white men, Jews, Gentiles, Protestants, and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the old words of the Negro spiritual, "Free at last."